These messages will resonate most with those who are on the spiritual path and doing the inner work. God, source, your spirit team, the universe, or your higher self led you here for a reason. As always, listen to the guidance with discernment. Share your thoughts, feelings, and insights in the comment section below, and subscribe if you're new. If this video found you, then you're being asked to go deeper or higher, but I think deeper first. But you're going to have to sync yourself with God's movements or your higher self, the movement with your higher self or your inner self or your soul, however you think about it, whatever your divine guidance looks like, your guidance system looks like, you're going to have to sync yourself to that. And that requires calmness. And I'm going to explain this, but I just want you to know this is not for everybody. So if that doesn't make sense to you, then it's okay if you just go ahead and click off now. But I feel like this was meant for you. You might be feeling a little bit like, oh no, me. As soon as you hear go deeper, it's like, oh no, you should already know what I'm talking about. So this should be confirmation and not something new. When I say sink, you know the term sink or swim. This conversation here is about sink or sink. And sink as in SYNC, like getting synced up, syncing up things, versus sinking like in the ocean, SINK. And the metaphor that's coming through is, if you've ever been to the ocean, you know that closer to the shore there are a lot of waves. And if you've ever been swept up, or you've ever been like maybe a child, even as an adult, really doesn't matter, where the waves come back to back to back, and it can almost like knock you down. You can't even get a grip. You can't stand up. You all disorientated and you don't know which way is which. You might have been feeling like that for a long time, especially if you are maybe an entrepreneur, a creative, someone trying to make their own way. You're trying to figure life out and you don't quite know which direction to go in. And you try this thing, it doesn't work. Try that thing. You listen to them, they, everybody. The voice inside your head is not loud enough. The voice of God is not loud enough. The voice of your spirit, your soul, your intuition is quieted while everybody else is loud. And wave after wave just keeps coming and knocking you down. It keeps crashing onto you. And there's a lot of physical struggle. So the guidance here is you're being asked to go deeper and deeper into the ocean. And water represents emotion, right? So maybe it is deeper into your emotions, but this could be anything. Like I said, you would know, because it could be deeper into a job. Maybe you're being asked to take a higher position and to be relied on more. You're being asked to be a leader of some sort, or you're being asked to get rid of all these extra distractions. Maybe you have 5 things on your plate and you're being asked to reduce it down to 3 so you can go deeper. It's like, not be so wide, but let's go deep. Not have 500 things, but go deep in 100 things. I know that's an exaggeration, right? So now we're being asked to go deeper into the water. Understand this. It might be scarier when you go deeper, but have you noticed that the deeper you are into water, there aren't any waves? It's more like a gentle just a gentle flow back and forth, rocking back and forth. Like, you're not going to get knocked down by waves, really, because you can't touch the ground. You have to learn how to wade in the water, and you're going to have to learn how to float. So this is a process. It's not like you're just going to automatically jump into the deep end. So that's why this is not for everybody. Some people need to still stay on the shore, close to the shoreline, and keep on figuring out how to navigate the waters, and keep on understanding how to tread the water and learn how to swim and get your practice in. But for those who I'm talking to, you have learned the hard lessons, you have figured it out, and you are ready for the next phase. And the next phase is to go deeper, is to go deeper. That's all I can say. Now, what I will say is, when you go deeper, you cannot be as frantic, because that leads to a more dangerous situation. I don't want to say it like that, but we're still looking at the analogy of being out in the ocean. When you're at the shore and you start doing all this and start freaking out and trying to swim and get your breath and stand up, like, you can still get out of the water. But when you're out, when you're farther out, there is no bottom floor. So you're going to have to really learn how to like be controlled and be calm and learn how to, whatever it means to like tread water and not freak out. And because as soon as you start doing all this movement, that can lead to you sinking. At least that's what I think. I ain't never been out there that far, but metaphorically, we're trying to say that now that you're going deeper, you're going to have to learn how to calm down and listen to God's voice, listen to your soul, and know the ins and outs and the ebbs and the flows, knowing when to move, knowing when to not move, knowing how to tread your water, knowing the ebb and the flow, and syncing, SYNC, with the timing, with, oh, it's time to move forward. Oh, it's time to stop. Oh, we're ebbing, we're flowing. Oh, we're working hard, we're relaxing. Oh, I know that no matter what happens, no matter what's happening at the shore, whatever's happening around me, I have to stay calm in the center. Because there's, well, when I was getting this message, there was also an imagery like of a cyclone. And as I'm recording this, I do believe there's like a lot of weather events happening. But I had got this message before I saw that. So I'm using the term cyclone because that's the word I got. But here's the thing, cyclone, tornado, hurricane, what I read was the terminology is just based off geography. Okay. So a cyclone, just like everything else, is a calm, low pressure center eye surrounded by intense wind and thunderstorms. The name is purely geographic. And what I wrote down is you name a situation based on where you are mentally. Okay. So if somebody at the shore might call it X, but somebody in the deep end might call it Y. Somebody might say, oh, I'm having this negative experience. But depending on where you are mentally, you might say, oh, well, this is not a negative experience. This is a positive experience. And I'm just saying that based off of a name can change based off where you are. Just like depending on where the tropical event is happening, it's called a cyclone. If it's happening somewhere else, it's called a tornado. If it's happening somewhere else, it's called a hurricane. But they all have the same type of thing about it. So when you're now deeper into sea, you're going to have to see things. Okay, come on now. Wording, you're going to have to see differently. I'm getting hot and sweaty, so let me take off my jacket. Woo. You're going to have to see things differently in order to stay calm. If you're still taking the same mindset as when you were at the shore, getting knocked down by waves and seeing everything as negative and everything as a detriment and everything as coming to attack you, you're going to have that same mentality out here and start freaking out. When you go into the deep end, you can't freak out. You have to keep your eyes, I will say on the prize, but keep your eyes on God. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your eyes on the truth of what you know, what your soul knows, what your higher self knows. What God has already told you that you're fine out here, that I got you. And while the water can be daunting, you're surrounded by love and protection. And not a lot of people are out here on the deep end. So you ain't got that many people to fight with. But anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point. But God is calling you deeper or higher, however you want to look at it. In order to be there safely, in order to succeed in the deeper waters, I need you to spend more time in presence. In the presence of God, in the presence of your inner self. I need you to rest. Come on, rest in the knowing. Because when you know, you're not freaking out and worried and acting like the people that are close to the shoreline get knocked around by the waves. First of all, I'm not going to say there's no waves out here. It's just a different type of situation. It's a different type of skill set. And it's going to take you a minute to get there. And so the practice session is, let's stay present. Let's stay aware of what you're being guided and asked to do. And know that you are safe. And know that you have the skill set. And know that you are more than capable of surviving in the deep end.